Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope you are well. You are welcome to the Army Bannal College for Girls. I am your teacher of Pakistan Studies Department. Dear students, due to unpredictable circumstances, we cannot provide you an atmosphere of classroom. We are trying our best to start online lectures just to utilize your time in a proper way. First, I am going to tell you about the model paper of the Pakistan Studies. Here I show the picture of the model paper of Pakistan Studies. That paper is divided into the objective as well as in the subjective paper. Objective and the objective have 10 marks, and the subjective paper divided into the short question as well as in the long question. So the short question have 24 marks and the long question have 16 marks. There is the option of the three short question in the there is the option of three question in the short question, so that there is the option of one question in the long. Now I'm going to deliver my lecture on the chapter number 1, Genesis of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Here we discuss the ideology, because the Pakistan Studies subject started on the name of ideology. Why the ideology in the subcontinent were presented by the Muslims. First we define the ideology. Ideology is a set of ideas or the norms. So the concepts and the feelings, emotions, and the sentiments of the Muslims. These concepts of the Muslims related to their ideology. So what were the base of their ideology? Islam. Their true religion, Islam, became the base of their ideology, because the Muslims have belief on the oneness of God, on the finality of the prophethood, on the Holy Quran, and the Day of Judgments. So the Muslim nations, by virtue of their faith, they have an identity separate and distinct from other nations of the world. This feeling of the oneness among themselves, combined with the consciousness of being separate from others, is called two-nation theory. That Islam is a democratic way of human beings. Why the Muslims of the subcontinent wanted a separate homeland for themselves? Because where they can lead their lives according to their religion, according to their customs and the tradition, and according to their trends. All their trends, custom, tradition, and the values revolve around their religion, Islam. That they have no similarity with the religion of the Hindus, because the Islam and the Hindus have there is no similarity between two religions, because Muslims follow their true religion, Islam. On the other side, that the Hindus are the secular, because they believe on the secularism, and the Hindus are the non-believers, because they worship the different religion. But on the other side, that the Muslim worship only their one religion, Islam. So why the Muslims of why the Muslims of the subcontinent believe on the two-nation theory? Who was the founder of the two-nation theory? That Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was the founder of the two-nation theory when he came in Hindustan. That you observe the worst condition of the Muslim. That why? That there was the vicious circle of the Muslims in the subcontinent. When the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan observed that why the Muslims have a miserable life in the subcontinent, because there are a lot of the restrictions and the sanctions over their religion, that they cannot worship their religion in the subcontinent, that they cannot slaughter the cow, because the Hindus worship the cow. So there are the restriction over the Muslim, that they can pray in the mosque, that they cannot lead their life according to the Islamic teaching, and that they cannot follow the teaching of the Quran and Sunnah, that they cannot celebrate their Islamic festivals. So the Pakistan ideology, when the Muslims presented the Pakistan ideology, it refers to that set of beliefs and the objectives which formed the basis of the Muslim freedom struggle. How they started their freedom struggle in the subcontinent? Because their freedom struggle was started in the name of Islam. So the Islam became the base of their ideology, because the Muslims have the different customs, tradition, trends, the rituals. So the no similarity with the Hindus' customs and tradition, because the Hindus always adopted the biased attitude towards the Muslims, and that the Hindus are divided into the four caste system, like the Brahman, Vaish, Kshatri, and the Shudra. While the Muslims have no such type of the categories, because they follow the oneness of God, because they have the same beliefs in all all over the world. Whether the Muslims live in any nook and corner of the world, but they have the same belief that they never change their belief. So according to their beliefs, that the components of the Pakistan ideology were made. And what were the components of the Pakistan ideology? Islam and the democracy and the social justice and the equality and the sense of responsibility and the fundamental human rights. These are all the components of the Pakistan ideology. Why the Islam became the component? Because fundamentally in an Islamic state, according to the Qaidism, that the authority rests with Almighty Allah. The working of an Islamic government is conducted according to the Quranic principle and injunctions. In an Islamic state, neither its head nor any parliament or an institution or an individual can act absolutely in any matter. Here we discuss the sovereignty of Allah. Sovereignty means that the ultimate, the supreme, and the unchallengeable authority belongs to Allah. And no one can enjoy that authority in this universe. Although the supreme authority is given to the some sort of the institution or to the any head of the government or the state, but that power which is given to these heads, that power is the sacred trust from the God, because on the day of judgment that they are answerable and accountable to the God for their good and the bad deeds. They are also answerable. So the ultimate unchallengeable authority belongs to Allah. No one can challenge it. That's the second. That's the democracy. That's how we can define the democracy. That the democracy represented the general Muslim public. That the majority in the Muslim would desire that the political models with the democratic institution, the values can coexist with the values and the principle of Islam, that the democratic government are elected by the people. So the opinion of the citizen should be considered regarding governmental policies and systems. All their values and the tradition, their moral values and the tradition revolve around their true religion, Islam. If the constitution is formed by the government, by the state, it should be based on the Islamic principle. In the Islamic principle, in the constitution, that the equality, that the social justice should be considered. All the fundamental rights should be given to the citizen in the constitution. That no discrimination should be adopted on the basis of caste, color, and creed for the citizen in the constitution, because there is the equalism in the constitution. There should be no exploitation of labor class in our country, because all the citizens are equal, and there is no difference between black and white, between the rich and the poor. That the social justice should be provided by the state and the government for all the citizens, that all the citizens are equal. So all the discrimination on the ground of caste, color, and creed should be discriminated, that the Muslims can worship their religion. On the other side, that the non-Muslim can also worship their religion. Muslim can go to the mosque just to pray, and the Hindus can go to their temple for the worship. There should be no restriction on the Muslim as well as on the non-Muslims. So the fundamental human rights are the rights are granted by the Constitution as the special protection for the citizen, and the citizen can cast their vote just to elect the government. Citizens have a right to get the education, that they have the right to get the job opportunities. No exploitation of the labor class and the worship of religion. So all these facilities are provided by the Constitution, and the Constitution provided us the directive principles of the state policy. So all the policies and the systems of the government should be and that should depends on the Islamic teaching and the Quranic teaching and the Sunnah. That's all about my lecture. Allah Hafiz.